The obnoxious rage of these fake intellectuals, breeding misinformation in the age of the spectacle. But you need to be skeptical, no longer programmable. Look into how the Imperial West made you susceptible. We are sitting at a precipice of history, but it doesn't seem a moral compass is a necessity. It's used selectively by dehumanizing entities. These so-called world leaders only offer empty empathy. Fuck Rishi Sunak and Suella Braverman, traitors to the pigment in their skin and peaceful governance. If you want to know who the real terrorists are, look no further than the Tory organizational chart. This all connects to our greatest fallacy. We're heating up the earth, but our hearts are frozen solidly. Why do we have to look at the color of a people's skin before we decide if it's a people we want to invest in? How can we see a genocide unfold on our screens, but close our eyes and ears so they can die unseen? It's an inconvenience to watch human beings bleed. We don't want to see those scenes as we scroll through our feeds. Your morals have calcified, they've turned to stone. But I implore you to see through the lie, you won't be alone. This didn't start on October 7th, as they say. Israel's crimes were there to see before that dark day. 75 years of ethnic cleansing washed away by their corporate media and imperialist state. Israel was created on a racist foundation built on blood, suffering, colonization. Supported by a declaration with no deliberation by an anti-Semitic and indifferent Caucasian. Balfour was a racist, Herzl was a racist, Churchill was a white supremacist, and no one gave a shit. This is the world that we are now living in. Selective outrage based on the strength of your melanin. If your skin tone is wrong, you're oppressed in silence. Are we more civilized than the tribes of the Andaman Islands? We human beings are the greatest magicians. Tricked ourselves into thinking we'll lead a righteous existence. But ask yourself, why is our most valuable enterprise creating weapons for taking away human lives? The illogical logic of defending arbitrary lines, quick to kill and murder instead of becoming unified. You then wonder why the oppressed fight back, occupied for generations. Please check your facts. Yes, innocent people died on both sides, but it's not both sides causing systematic genocide. It's not both sides making a concentration camp. It's not both sides controlling energy and water tanks. It's not both sides that are refugees in their own land. It's not both sides that are beaten till they can't stand. Don't both sides the argument because it's null and void. You know Israel won't stop until Palestine's destroyed. It's not about being a Muslim or a Jew. It's about Palestinians having the same freedoms as you. Why should they be undeserving of their basic rights? Because Israel demands the occupation consists of only whites. Now, Zionism is anti-Semitic to the core, and Judaism goes against everything that it stands for. ISIS used Islam as a similar staging ground to create their own racist doctrine and build a nation around. Zionists are the same with their racist ideology. Nazism at the root of every single policy. From Theodore Herzl to Bibi Netanyahu, every one of them evil, yet the names remain powerful. The Western imperial machine continues to protect the outposts in the Middle East so they can continue to project their influence and ideals to poison Arab governments so Israel can remove Palestine and try to make it permanent. These are all facts. You don't have to dig deep to discover the truth that they never want you to see. The people are now realizing that they've been deceived, that the history that's been taught to them is not what they perceive. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. That's written on my heart till it beats its last beat. But don't confuse that saying for any form of hate. I always have been about peace and love for all states. So please take a step back and look into your soul. Determine where you want your humanity to go. Stand up for the oppressed, stand up for what's right. For Palestine, Sudan, Uyghurs and Rohingyas plight. For Kashmir, Afghanistan, the Congo and Syria. For Ukraine, Chad, Ethiopia and Somalia. For every human that's never seen the freedoms that we love. For every child that's lost the lottery of birth. For every parent who can't give their children the world. For every person who can't seem to see their own worth. For all peoples that have lived with boots to their necks. For all the wise elders who've been left to rot with neglect. The time is now for a philosophical shift. Remove the powers that carried and abused this gift. Stand up in one voice, declare our revulsion that humanity is no longer the product of corruption. Beautiful freedoms for all and all will equally receive them. Every man, child and woman is deserving of fiefdom. Smiles, happiness, understanding and prosperity. No more precarious independence and poverty. Now it's over to you to decide on your course of causality. And no matter how it all ends, just know you'll always be my brothers and sisters in humanity. My brothers and sisters in humanity. Just know you'll always be my brothers and sisters in humanity.